Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of the Heartmoor podcast. It's been just over a year now since I started this podcast, so yeah, can't believe I'm still going. My name is Stacey, and I live in Devon in the southwest of England with my 3 daughters and my husband. And this podcast is all about knitting, maybe sometimes some crochet, a little bit of chatter. I've had my hair cut. You might, if you're a regular watcher, you might have noticed I have my hair cut. I'm trying out a fringe. I don't know what I think about it. We'll see. I'll probably keep it for a year and then grow it out, because that's what I do. I get bored and keep growing things out. But welcome back if you're a subscriber or a viewer before, and hello to all my new subscribers and new viewers. I've had a few new subscribers after the last podcast, which is really nice. So yeah, welcome and thank you. I hope you've got yourself a nice something to drink, maybe a bit of cake, because we all like cake. And yeah, shall we? I've got my stuff all here on the side of the couch, and we can get started. I put on some lippy today, as I was out last night. I went to watch James Bond. I'd never been to see it in the cinema before, so I thought, oh, I'll go. My friend invited me. I thought I'll go and see Bond, and then we went out for dinner, and then had a few gins, a couple of double gins at our local gin bar. And I got in quite late, so I thought I'd get this out of the way this morning, because I might take a little nap this afternoon. My husband's taking the girls out for a scout camp this weekend. They're camping inside, so they're not camping in tents, so it's not a camp, it's an inside camp. So my husband's sort of a scout leader, and the girls don't go to scouts, but they get the benefits of going with him to all these sorts of things, and I get the benefit of having the weekend to myself. So I thought, what a good opportunity to film a podcast, because I think the last one I did was the middle of August. And, I've done a little bit of knitting since then, so I've got a few things to show you, which should be good. So let's get started on the knitting. I've got a few finished objects. I don't feel very organised today, partly because I was out last night, which is no excuse. But I'm going to use it as an excuse. I was out last night, and I wasn't sure if I was going to record. I was going to record this afternoon, and then I thought, no, I'm going to be asleep, so I haven't written anything down. So I'm going to do my best to remember what I can. So I think on the last podcast, if you remember, I knitted the Simple Pleasures hat by Purl Soho in bright pink beehive yarns for my middle daughter. My 3 daughters there, she's 14, 8 and 6, nearly 7. So my middle daughter, I knitted her a bright pink hat. So my youngest wanted one as well. And I think I'd started it on the last podcast. And here it is. So it's the Simple Pleasures hat by Purl Soho. I used, it's a kid's size, but it's such a good fit. I love it. That's my fringe. Fringe is all bumped up. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna have to make one for myself, I think. But I think I want bright blue. Anyway, I'm gonna have to steal my kids' hats. What does that say about me? So yeah, Simple Pleasures hat by Purl Soho. It's knitted. You do like a long rib, and then this is in 4-ply held double, and then you cut off one of the strands of 4-ply and add in a mohair or an alpaca, and then you fold up the rib, and you got yourself a hat. So it's really, really nice. I love the way the colours have come out. So I used the purple. I used beehive yarns in, I think this is Bougainvillea. I can't find any of the ball bands because I knitted it ages ago. So I think this is Bougainvillea and this is the purple. So I held this double, and then this is held single with, and this is Beehive Yarns as well. And I can't find the name of this one, but it's their, I think it's their Patty yarn. It's their mohair. And this is the one I used for the previous hat. So in the previous episode, I probably say what colour it is, but it's bright pink. So this and this held double gave you this lovely, beautiful marl sort of colour. I used the needle sizes I suggested in the pattern. I didn't change anything. Yeah, so it's amazing, isn't it, how like a really strong dark purple and a really vibrant pink can create this sort of beautiful muted colour. I love it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, so that's my first finished object. I'm definitely going to be making one for myself. I think a nice electric blue. I may have to go hunting for a beautiful, yeah, electric blue colour because my eyes are blue, and I think a blue hat would be spot on with a nice bit of pink lipstick and a black coat. Nice electric blue. So that's me. So that's my first finished object. Then I'm afraid I got a bit sock heavy. So I decided to start knitting up some of my Christmas socks, because I'm going to do Christmas socks for the girls this year. I like to do them all a pair of socks for Christmas. And I had some yarn in the last, I bought some yarn, which I showed in the last podcast from oh, I can't remember who it's from. I'll put it all in the drop down box. But it's this beautiful self-striping colourway, and this one was all in greens. And look at that. I don't know where my sock blockers. 2 seconds and I'll find my sock blockers. Okay, got my sock blockers, and I found out who the yarn was by. It's by Fab Funky Fibres. So my daughter likes shorties. My eldest daughter, she's a size 7, so big feet. But yeah, so here they are. It's a really unusual colourway because it doesn't seem to be, I'll hold it up. It doesn't seem to be an obvious repeat. So you kind of like, where this one I thought would repeat sort of here, the colour after it is not the colour after it. It just seems totally random, like just lots of different shades of green, which I love. I really love it, and it fades in together really, really beautifully. I did this just as my own sock recipe, so I just did 5 rounds of rib for the cuff, slip stitch heel, flap and gusset, and a toe. I don't know what kind of toe this is, but just the toe that looks like that. And yeah, so I've done those for her for Christmas. So they were nice and simple. I cast on 68 stitches for her. I normally do 64 for me, but I did 68 because she's got quite wide feet. So yeah, so that's the first pair of finished socks. Whoops, I want to rip them. It's just so striking, isn't it? I love this colourway. Really love that. And then the next one was also from Fab Funky Fibres. I think I'd cast these on, maybe? No, I hadn't cast these on the last episode. But this is another Fab Funky Fibre yarn. I don't think these are going to fit on my sock blockers because they're for my littlest, and I don't want to stretch them too much. Will that fit? No, they're not going to fit on the sock blockers. So here they are. So these are, again, Fab Funky Fibres, striped colourway. Again, I don't think there's an obvious repeat, which I love. It's just a whole load of random purples. This pink mini is that Beehive Yarns one left over from the Simple Pleasures hat I did in the 4-ply rather than from the first Simple Pleasures hat I did. So I just used that as a contrast on this one because I thought that was quite funky, and it's yeah, really beautiful. And again, it's my own sock recipe, same as I do for everything. So this has got 15 rounds of cuff, slip stitch heel, and that. If someone knows what type of toe this is, I don't know what that toe's called. Is it a ridge toe? Rounded toe? I don't know. A toe. And I cast on 56 stitches for this one. So child number 2 has Christmas socks. I haven't done child number 3 yet. So 2 of my kids have socks for Christmas. I just have to do the last one. And then I decided to jump on the DK sock bandwagon. And oh my goodness, I'm a little bit in love. I absolutely love DK socks. They were so quick to knit up. They are so squishy. So let me put it on a sock blocker and show you. I love these so much. Oh, look at those. Look at that. So this yarn is by Woolly Mama's yarn, and it's Mutant Mermaid in their DK. I think it's a 75-25 in their DK base. Look at the pops of colour on that. Look, bright yellow, pink, blue, orange, purple. Really, really beautiful yarn, and it knits up incredibly. I do have two, just to show you. And I use the Crazy Sock Lady pattern because I wasn't sure. It's just a vanilla sock, but I wasn't quite sure how much I would get out. So it was 100 gram skein, and I thought, I don't know how much I'm going to get. So I knitted it. I changed it ever so slightly. So she does 15 rows of rib, and I did 20 rows of rib. But then she did, instead of 40 rows here, I did 30. So it's the same number of rows as, I'm doing it on this side and you can't see. It's the same number of rows as the pattern between here and the heel. I just did an extra 10 rows on the cuff and reduced it by 10 rows here. Because again, I wasn't sure how much yarn I would need. Slip stitch heel, and then long enough to just fit my foot and a toe. And actually, I still had 30 grams left out of my 100 grams. So this pair of DK socks only took me 70 grams. I knitted it on 3.5mm needles because I normally knit my 4-ply socks on 2.5 on DPNs. So these were on 3.5 DPNs. So at least I know next time when I have 100 gram skein, I can make the leg longer, because I know I have 30 grams left, so I can add another 15 grams in for each leg. But they are so soft, so squishy, and they was just so quick to knit up. So these are gonna be house socks. I mean, they've got nylon in, so I could wear them out, but I think they're gonna be comfy house socks. But I really want to make a pair of bed socks with a DK with a strand of mohair as well, and see how they knit up. They would be so comfortable for bed. I really, really, really love these socks. So these are my, finished. This one's come up slightly more, you see the speckles on this one ever so slightly as the yarn's gone on. This one's got more blue and this one's got more speckles, but still both really beautiful. So, but I am now gonna cast on another pair of DK socks now that I've shown you these. DK socks are next on my list, and I want to do some for my girls as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start buying DK yarn. So that's finished object number 4, and I think that's all my finished objects. So 3 pairs of socks and a hat. I don't think that's too bad. I know it's been a couple of months, but I have been knitting on some other things as well. They're just not finished. So that's my finished objects. So whips I have. I've got, stop, focus, concentrate. I have 2 half finished objects. So this is going to be quite a sock heavy episode, I'm afraid. I just got on a sock bandwagon. So let's start with this one. So this is in my bag from the Little Grey Girl, Jen at the Little Grey Girl. It's one of those pyramid bags with a little handle on top, so you can knit while you're on the move, if you're so inclined. I can't. I need to look at my knitting when I knit. I'm not very good at knitting without looking at it. I can knit quite speedily, but I need to look at it. So this is a half finished object. Have I not started? I haven't started the second one. And this is in the Christmas yarn by Nora George. So these are for me. So this is Nora George yarns, and it's her Christmas ones. And this sock set is called Gingerbread House. Can you, is that focusing? And it's a 70, I'm shaking, it's a 75-25. And these are the colours. Really, really pretty. So this is like a rust. It's coming up a little brighter on screen. It's a little more muted. But this is like a beautiful rust colour. Let me try it the other way around, see if it dulls it down a little bit. Rust colour, and then this one here with on a cream base, but with lots of speckles of rust and yellows, and yeah, really beautiful. So together they are lovely. So I decided to do sort of like a merge of the socks. I wasn't quite sure how much I would use for each one. And let me put it on the sock blocker. I'll put them away. So I finished the first sock. I haven't cast on the second one yet, but I have finished the first sock. And like I say, these are for me for Christmas. And yeah, there we go. So I started with this beautiful speckled yarn, and then did the heel. So I did 15 rows on the cuff, slip stitch heel. I did 10, 20, I did 40 rows here. I wanted to, I don't normally mark it with stitch markers, but I wanted to because because I'm merging the two socks, I wanted them to match. So I did 40 rows, slip stitch heel, flap and gusset, and then slowly sort of merged in that looks like a catch, it isn't, it's just a really dark bit of red. Slowly merged in the rusty colour and then did the toe. So I think they've come up really beautifully. These are my Gingerbread House socks by Nora George. I did them on 2.5 DPNs, like I do all my socks. Yeah, they're really, really pretty. I love this. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do. I was thinking of doing heel, toes and cuff in one colour and then the sock in the other, and then reversing it for the second sock, but this one just screamed. I just really wanted to see them merge like this. I just wanted to see a lot of this and a lot of this. So really love those. So that's my first Christmas sock. I haven't cast on the second one yet. But actually, so I've split the balls for 50 grams each. So I had 25 grams of this and 25 grams of this, and I've still got this left. I reckon this is about 20 grams, if not a bit more, and this one's it's gone. And that one is easily maybe 10 to 15 grams. So I could have got a much longer leg, and I could have started the merge a little bit earlier, but I'm happy with these, and I'll put those probably into my Cozy Memories blanket or something like that. Yeah, so that's those. And I'm just going to pick up my random ball of yarn that's flown across the floor. So I just need to get, oh, I've got a big stain on my jeans. So I need to get cracking on the second one of those. Then my other half finished object is my Halloween socks. So I cast these on the 1st of October. And this is in a bag by, Stacey Parker. What is her name? She doesn't, I don't think she writes it in the bag. I need to Google her. Right. Just talk amongst yourselves. Toilet break. Cup of tea. I'm just going to quickly Google who the bag is from. Amelia Joy Etsy. So this is a bag by Amelia Joy. It's my Halloween bag, look. Witches and cats and beautiful ladies in long dresses, and yeah, so I love my Halloween bag. And in here are my Halloween socks, and this is a yarn by Buttoned Up and Pinned Down. Is that going to show you? I don't know if that's focusing. And it's just a one-of-a-kind colourway, so it doesn't have a name. 75/25 4-ply, and this is the yarn. Look at that. I don't think she designed it as a Halloween colourway. Oh, so look at the squish. Look at the squish on that. She didn't design it as a Halloween colourway, but these colours like neon and black just screamed Halloween to me. So it's a beautiful self-striping, and oh, I thought it was half finished. I'm still on the toe. So here it is. Oh, look at that. I've done a really long leg. So for the cuff, I just did did 3 colours with the black in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripes of colour. Then I did a really long leg. It reminds me of like Pippi Longstocking. Really long leg. Slip stitch heel. I didn't fancy an afterthought heel. They don't fit me very well. So I did the slip stitch and then carried on with the colour. And now I'm on the toe. Look, there's my hedgehog of needles. 2.5 DPNs. Yeah. And there's my little rabbit from Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit Yarns to let me know where I am. Yeah, and that's my sock. So that's I've nearly finished my first one. I should get that finished today. Then I'll cast on my second ones. And I'm hoping to enter these into Giddy Yarns Halloween Mal. So Helen from Giddy Yarns every year does a Halloween make-along where you can make anything Halloweeny. It doesn't have to be knitting. It can be any type of craft she accepts. And yeah, entered into a giveaway for her. So I'm going to finish those and enter those into Giddy Yarns Halloween giveaway. So I should get that, like I say, I should get that first one finished today, and then I can get started on the second sock and hopefully get that finished, because we've got 1 more week and then it's half term here in England. I think Scotland's different. So in England, we've got 1 more week of school, then it's half term. So I will definitely get these finished by the end of October. So that's exciting. So that's my other whip. Then I should probably show you, I got this beautiful book. So literally just after the last podcast finished, I had some birthday money and I ordered the 52 Weeks of Socks book. And this arrived just after my last podcast. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's by Laine magazine. Laine is how you say it. Laine. I'm not quite sure. Laine magazine, 52 Weeks of Socks. And I'm sure many of you have seen this. It's been shown all over. I mean, there are so many beautiful socks. Look at those. Love those. There's a lot of cables in here, and I haven't done cables before, so I'm definitely excited to try some cable socks. I'm trying to find you a nice... Oh, so these are the ones I'm actually knitting. Let me find you the picture. So these are the Bembe socks by Dawn Henderson. And that's a good picture of them. I was trying not to show you the chart. That's not a good picture at all. Let me show you the first picture. That was better. Here we go. It's got like this beautiful sort of pearl and knit effect that makes it look almost like the British flag, actually. Yeah, it creates a lovely effect. So those are the ones I'm currently knitting, which I will show you in a second. Where else? What other ones are there? Oh, look at those. Beautiful socks there. And there are so many beautiful socks. I need to get more comfortable with cables, but there's quite a lot that aren't cabled, just like beautiful lacy patterns. Look at those. Really, really nice book. I really want the shawls book, but I don't wear... I need to get more into wearing shawls because I really want the book because it's a beautiful book. But I don't know if I'd make anything from it. So, and there's those, look, colourwork socks. I'd love to do some colourwork socks. That's on my to-do list. So yeah, so I got this fabulous book and I would recommend it if, you know, if you like a nice coffee table book and you will knit the patterns from it. Oh, look at those. Look at those. That's just stunning. Look at the, yeah. Love them. So there's so many beautiful socks in this. So I have started my first pair, but I got distracted by Christmas and Halloween socks. So I will show you what I've done. So they're just in this bag I made myself. Not very well, but it is, you know, it functions. And I am using the most, excuse my yarn winding. I had the setting on my yarn winder wrong, and yeah, that's that was my attempt at winding this yarn. Anyway, this really beautiful. It is slightly darker. Oh no, don't fall off my socks. Hang on, let me just get a bit of slack. There we go. It's slightly darker it's coming up a bit too pale, it's blowing out, but it's like a beautiful mauve colour. Oh yeah, it's just really subtly tonal. And it's by Loom Wool, so the lovely Jess at Loom Wool. I love her yarns. Just such beautiful, simple colourways. I've been buying a lot of her mini Skein boxes lately, and the colours are just divine. She's on the list for me having an advent next year. I've put her on my possible list. And this is just, so she does, this colourway is just called Extracts number 24. And she basically, when she's got like some yarn, some dye left in the pot, she just puts yarn in and uses up the leftover dye, and she calls it the Extracts. And it's a twist sock. And it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams is 365 metres. She's based in Somerset. So yeah, love Jess's yarns. And this is just such a beautiful cut. It's a crochet hook and a lavender bag stuck into my ball of yarn. This is my, if I make a mistake and drop a stitch hook. And this is a really beautiful lavender sachet, but they shouldn't be stuck in there. So where's the sock? I can hear you all screaming. So it's on 2.5 DPNs because that's how I knit everything. I'm knitting it exactly to pattern, and this is what I have done so far. It's definitely going to need a block, I think, because of the way that the purling is. You can't quite see it very well, but obviously it was this bit in the middle here would open up. It does look like the Union Jack, doesn't it? So yeah, this bit here would open up and you create the pattern. So it ends up in a couple of triangles, and I think I've got to do a bit more before I finish the first one and before I move on to the heel. But really loving this. It's quite intuitive. So it's a charted pattern, but it is really intuitive. Once you sort of know how many stitches you're purling and knitting, you don't need to look at the chart until you sort of finish a triangle, and then you know I'd look at the chart to work out where to go next. So, oh, excuse me. Really love these, and this yarn is just coming out so beautifully, just so simply tonaled. It's much more mauve. Oh, that's probably a better reflection of the colourway actually. More mauve than it is over here. It's like coming out really pink, but it is definitely like a dark mauve. Anyway, so I've started. Those are the Bembe socks out of that book, so that's my first pair, but I'm gonna have to crack on with my Christmas socks I think before I come back to this. But really love those, and that is all the socks. Woo! You'll be pleased to know. If you're not a sock knitter, I'm really sorry. if you're not a sock knitter, you should give it a go. But yeah, so that is all the socks I've been working on, quite a few. I've got one more project that I'm currently working on. I haven't put any more work into my mittens yet, so I need to crack on with those from the last episode. And in the last episode, I had ripped out my love note and started it again. I have since made another mistake. It's nothing to do with the pattern. The pattern is beautifully written, simple, easy. I just keep missing a slip stitch somewhere, and it's completely my fault because I'm not, I haven't printed off the pattern. I'm working off it on my phone, and I think I should have printed it off, and then I could just highlight what I'd done and what I haven't done. But I keep missing a slip stitch, and so it's gone wrong again. So I don't have the patience to start it for a third time. And it's one of those patterns you just can't fudge, because it's a particular pattern, and if you miss something and then the pattern's out of sync, the whole thing will look wrong. So I'm going to frog the love note, and I'm going to think about what else I might use the yarn for. I might do a ranunculus. I'm going to see how much yarn I've got and what I can do with it. But the love note's going in the naughty corner. And when I have when I have a bit more concentration and patience, I will get the pattern back again, and I will attempt my love note. I might do a short sleeve version for spring or something. But this particular one is being frogged and going to the naughty corner, because I can't look at it without feeling stressed. So that one is disappearing. So while I made a mistake on my love note, I thought I'd cast on another sweater, because I really want to make one for myself. I've only ever made myself a short sleeve tee. I've made sweaters for the kids, so children's ones, but I haven't made an adult one, so I really, really, really want one. So I am making myself one, but I have made some mistakes. So, you know, it's my first sweater, and I will talk you through the mistakes and how I have learnt from them. So first up, it's in this beautiful bag. I got it in a D-stash. I think it might be Eldenwood, something like that. It's not, there's no tag on it. So the D-stash person didn't say who it was by. It's got this beautiful little wooden robin. And it's a really gorgeous bag. It's padded or lined, or whatever you want to call it. It's not quite big enough for this project anymore. I really love this bag. And I am making the stripes sweater by Andrea Mowry. So let me show you what I've done. Let me show you what yarn I'm using. So I am using Let Lopey. I don't know if they've got actual colourways on them. Let me have a look. No, they're just numbers. Let me make sure I've got 3. So I'm using Let Lopey yarn, which is an Icelandic pure wool, 100% pure wool yarn. It is scratchy. There's no denying it. It is a scratchy yarn. But oh my goodness, I'm really enjoying knitting with it. These are the colours I'm using. So 3 different, let me put that one on there, be better in the light. 3 different blues. This is actually a pale blue. It looks grey, but it's a pale blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. And the colours are, there are 3 different shades. One is 1700. The other one is shade 9. Oh, they're all different. Let me just show you. So that is one shade of Let Lopey. Then this is another shade. That's the number. And the other one is that one there. So 3 different blues. It is scratchy, but it's such a pleasure to knit with. It doesn't slip on the needles. Like, I knit with this for a while, and it feels hard going on my wrists to start with because it's tougher yarn. But when I go back to like my 4-ply, my superwash, like the yarn, I can feel it slipping when I'm moving, slips on the needles. This just doesn't move. It's lovely, lovely stuff. And if you drop a needle, it's so easy to pick. If you drop a stitch, it's so easy to pick it back up. So the actual knitting, I'm really enjoying knitting with this kind of yarn. I don't know how the jumper will feel to wear. I mean, I'm happy to wear like a vest top or a short sleeve t-shirt underneath it if it feels too scratchy for me, but really, really love this. So far, where am I up to? I have done quite a bit. Where is the back? So this is the Stripes by Andrea Mowry. I can't remember what size I'm knitting, the 4th size. So it starts off with a little rib. There's some short row shaping in the back, and then you do some sort of increasing, split for the arms, and oh, it's so big. Split for the arms. I don't know how to show you. Split for the arms, and I'm down here. So yeah, really, really loving it. It is supposed to be cropped, but I'm going a bit longer. So I've just done this dark blue. There'll be another light blue, another grey, and then I'm going to rib in the dark blue. So I'm nearly finished. I'm about 4 rows from the bottom. I'm using 4mm needles. I can't remember what the pattern calls for, but that's what I'm using. I didn't gauge swatch because, you know, it's just, you know, that's just not me. I think I would if I was doing like a lacy or a pattern that was more tight fitting, but I want this to be quite a big baggy jumper. So I'm really happy with the colours. They look amazing. So here's the problem. It looks great, doesn't it? Obviously I'm, you know, I say it looks great. I think it looks great. You might think it looks rubbish. I think it looks great. Really, really happy. That's the front. That's the back. Can you see like an obvious pattern mistake? Big giant bulge right there. Basically, yeah, big bulge on the back. Basically, I forgot which size I was knitting. And when I was doing increasing, I think I increased for the size bigger than I started with. So when it came to splitting for the sleeves, I had way too many stitches. Sorry, like a catch on my nail. I had way too many stitches. And being unexperienced in jumper knitting, I thought, well, that's fine. I'd already done sort of like, so the first half of the back, then I'd split for the sleeve, then I'd done the front, split for the other sleeve, and then of course I was left with too many stitches in that like sort of last part of the jumper. So I thought I'll just slowly decrease over the rows, so this side will slowly match this side of the back, so the back, you know, yeah, so that I'll have the right number of stitches. And it's just created this giant bulge. Now, I don't know how it'll look when I wear it, whether this will just stretch out and you just won't see it, whether it's something I can fix by blocking. I don't know if anyone has any ideas. Either I'm thinking I maybe block this out and maybe I try and shrink this bit. I don't really know how to fix it. Worst case scenario, I will just wear it in the house. I mean, I'm still going to wear it. It's making my nose itch. Excuse me. I'm still going to wear it because, you know, this is the front and it looks lovely. I really, really love it. And if I have to have a big bulge on my back, then I'll just wear it in the house and it'll just become a house jumper. But lessons have been learnt. Print off the pattern. Highlight every section which is my sizing on the pattern. So when I come to that section, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, and possibly I can't rip back. I'm not a very patient knitter. I do enjoy knitting, but I'm a product knitter. If I had to go back and do it again, like with the love note, I can't do it. I couldn't bring myself, and of course I didn't really know how it would be affected until I'd got much further down and held it up and was like, oh yeah, there's a big stupid bulge on the back of my jumper. So I'm hoping that some of it might be fixed by blocking. If anyone has any ideas with that does not involve ripping back in any way, shape or form, top down or bottom up. Not doing it. You know, whether or not I can like felt shrink this bit, or whether, you know, when I pull out the bottom, whether it'll I stretch it. Will it fix it when I stretch it? Maybe I should just get a boob job and fill it with my boobs. Have extra boobs which will stretch it and fill it up. No. If anyone has any more sensible suggestions, or it'll just become a house jumper and I just won't wear it out and I'll just look like Hunchback of Notre Dame wearing it. But that's fine, because I knitted it and I've learnt lessons, and when I knit my next jumper, I won't make those mistakes again. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about evolving and learning, and yeah, we learn from mistakes, don't we? No one is perfect to begin with. So that is my Andrea Mowry stripes jumper. And I hope to have the body finished in the next week, and then I can start on the arms, which I'm hoping will be nice and quick, because, you know, it's a thicker yarn and they're 4mm needles, so I'm hoping the arms will go nice and quickly. And then I can try it on and show you what it looks like. But yeah, if anyone has any ideas of how I might be able to maybe not fix it, but reduce the damage a little bit, that would be amazing. So that is all my current knitting. I have some plans for some future knitting. So I want to knit another pair of DK socks. I've got a nice beautiful yarn I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to knit another pair of DK socks. I need to knit another pair of Christmas socks. I am going to Stitch Fest, which is a stitch and sort of yarn show in the southwest in Newton Abbot. I think it's on the 6th and 7th of November. So I'm going there with my friend Cherie, who is Ollie and Bella. And we're going up, going to get the train up and have a nice lunch somewhere. We've both got babysitters for the day, so we can go out, and we're going to go and buy some yarn. So I want to buy a sweater. I want to do the Whitmore sweater. So I'm going to buy yarn. I'm hoping to buy yarn quantity at the Stitch Fest. I want to buy some more DK yarn for more DK socks. I want to finish my mittens. What else do I want to knit? There's lots of things I want to make, because I've got some Christmas ideas. I want to make a cowl for my little girl, because she hasn't got one yet. And I want to make another cowl I've got with a leftover yarn advent from last year. I want to make another cowl for my mother-in-law. Yeah, but I just need to get Christmas out of the way, and then in January, I've left all my Christmas knits too late, I think, and I do this every year. I'm like, I can't knit for Christmas or winter until the 1st of September, and then it just goes so quickly. It's like I haven't got time to knit for Christmas. So in January, I'm going to start preparing for next Christmas. I've got lots of Christmas yarns left over from previous years, so I'm going to start knitting straight after that. So let me show you my new purchases that I've had over the last couple of months. So I said, oh no, let's do these first. So I bought, you know, you saw the Gingerbread House Nora George yarns. Well, she did 3 Christmas colourways, so I decided to buy all 3 because I just love the look of them. So this one is, I think I've already shown you this one. This one's Peppermint Candy. I think I showed you this one in the last episode. So this one I'm not going to do them all the same, where I did the one colour and then split into the second one. This one I think I am going to do heel, toes and cuff in one colour, and then the leg and the foot in another. But so really like these. Yeah, Peppermint Candy cane from Nora George. Then I've got, and this one is called Holly Jolly, Nora George. And this one I'm going to do heel, toes and cuffs, but I'm going to do opposites. So one sock will be heels, toes and cuffs in this, and the other sock will be heels, toes and cuffs in this. So I'm going to have mismatched socks for these ones. So this is the Holly Jolly sock set. Really lovely green, lots of speckles, and then a tonal red. So proper traditional Christmas socks they are. Love those. Then I got, someone was doing a Lucky Dip Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, or just a Lucky Dip yarn. And this was Rainbow Fusions. So I just thought it was a tenner for a Lucky Dip yarn. So I thought, well, yeah, why not? Why, you know, I'm up for that. And yeah, so Rainbow Fusions. And it's this beautiful, look at that. This screams Halloween to me as well. So if I get a chance to make a second pair of Halloween socks, if not, I might save them for next year. And this is called Radioactive. Look at that, proper. Really, really love that colour. Really bright, fabulous for socks. And it's a 75/25. But yeah, love those. So I got that yarn. And then I said I got a DK yarn. And this is from Zakimi Yarns. I like the bases she does on her shop. I love them. I love her bases. I love her colourways. Really, really beautiful. And this is called Herbarium, possibly Herbarium. And she's based in Cumbria in the UK. And look at this beautiful colourway. So this is DK, and these are going to be house socks for me. It's not got nylon in, so it's 100% NSW. Not quite sure what that stands for. NSW organic merino. 100 grams is 225 meters. Yeah, and DK light worsted. So it feels lovely. And I think these are going to make incredible house socks. So these are going to be one of my next sock cast-ons. When one of those is off the needles, I'm going to cast these on. Love this, really, really beautiful. So really happy with that. And I got some yarn in a D-stash. So I didn't buy it, but it was by one of my favourite yarn dyers. So I couldn't resist really, but it's from Woolly Mammoth, Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. And this is 100 grams. It's BFL Gotland. And there are 3, look at those colours. There's like a mossy green, a pale grey, and a beautiful sort of mauvey colour. So I'm not sure what to do with those. They might make a really nice shawl, or I don't know, something else. But yeah, got those in a D-stash. And that is all. I do have, I have had 2 of my Christmassy things arrive. Oh, I have got another one. Hang on, what's this one? Which month was this? So I've got, you know, I said I was getting the Loom Wool Minis. Oh, this was the August Mini Skein Club. So I'm hoping you've already had your August ones. I've got my September one somewhere in the drawer. But so this was the August set. So if you haven't had it, look away. But the Loom Skein Mini Club, and look at those beautiful colours. Like Jess just does the most divine natural tonal yarns. They're so beautiful. And these are a twist sock mini set, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 520 gram minis. Really, really beautiful. So that was the set, that was the August set, and that's her card. And yeah, I've had 2 of my Christmassy things arrive. So obviously I can't show you them because I've not opened. Oh, 3 of my Christmassy things arrived. Oh, what else have I bought? So I ordered a yarn from Stripy Cat Yarns, and she was doing Christmas. Oh, sorry, I just kicked the camera. She was doing Christmas stripy yarns based on a Christmas film. So I ordered Muppets Christmas Carol. So that's arrived and is hidden away because I don't want to see that until December. And I ordered a Advent this year, just 1 this year. I had 3 last year. So I've done 1 Advent, and I've gone for Dandelion and Dogwood. So that's arrived, and I've hidden that away so that I can't see it until the 1st of December because it looks so beautiful. And I love the yarns from Dandelion and Dogwood, absolutely beautiful yarns. So I'm really excited to open that. And there should be a pattern with it. It said a free pattern that the yarns will suit, whether, you know, you don't have to use it, but I might. And I have also ordered the lovely Emma from Moo and Mouse did a collaboration with Suzanne from Green Lambkin Yarns, and they've done a Harriet's Christmas box. So Harriet is like the little mouse that Emma puts on the front of her bags. So that's arrived. So there's a bag in there and a skein of yarn and other goodies, but it's all wrapped up, and someone is going to be giving me that for Christmas. So I won't be opening that till Christmas. I'm going to try and avoid spoilers on Instagram for anyone that's opening theirs a bit earlier than that. So yes, I've saved that for Christmas. And I think that's all my yarning news. So yeah, thank you if you've stayed this long. Thank you for sort of sticking with me. Thank you for watching. Chat wise, what have I been up to? So yeah, last night I said I went out to Bond. I can't tell you anything about the film. But you need to, if you're a Bond fan, you need to see it. That's all I'll say. It was good. So I went to see Bond, and then I went out for some dinner and drinks with my friend, which was really nice because I don't think she'd been out since before COVID. So it was really nice to catch up and have some gin and some yummy food. I'll give you an update on my mum. So if you haven't heard before, she went into hospital in June. She went for a gastric bypass operation that went completely and utterly wrong. She ended up in the intensive care unit, had sepsis, on dialysis. It just all went wrong. Anyway, on bank holiday weekend, at the end of August, bank holiday weekend, she came out of the ICU. So she's fully functioning, breathing on her own now. She's still in a ward. Obviously, we're, middle of October, but she's still in hospital, still in a ward. The stomach hasn't healed properly. Still, there is still a leak inside her stomach. So they're going to try a new procedure this week where they might. So basically, when they did the bypass, they cut the stomach in half or something like that, and so half of it isn't used and half of it is, to make the stomach smaller. The essence of the operation. So the bit that they wanted to use isn't working. So I think they're going to go in and try and use the bit that was supposed to be the discarded bit, and they're going to try and see if that can be used to be her stomach, because the other bit just isn't working. And obviously the actual wound on the outside of her stomach, where they cut her to go inside and fix this huge mess, is still like this big. Like, it's massive, a massive big red wound that just hasn't closed up. So she has to have like a vacuum bandage on that every day. But she's still got tubes and things going through her nose and a little bit of oxygen support. But she is having soup now, cups of tea, and she's taking all that by mouth. She's not got her catheter in anymore, so that's good. She can walk with her rollator from sort of one side of the ward to the other side of the ward, and she can get herself from her bed to her chair. She's got like a little pedal machine, and she's pedaling a couple of miles every day, sat in her chair, so getting her feet moving to stop sort of blood clots and help keep her help build her muscles up, because she had such muscle wastage. So it is progress, slow progress. She wants to be out before Christmas. She's quite low. We can only one person's allowed to visit her every day, and her visiting slot is 4 till 5, which is so inconvenient. It's not the hospital's fault, but when I have to get my kids from school, I can't get to the hospital for 4 o'clock. So on a Monday to Friday, I can't go and see her. And obviously I can't go every weekend either, because my husband works shifts and only one of us is allowed to go. Anyway, last weekend was my daughter's 14th birthday, and we had a lovely party. She went to this big outdoor aqua water park with some friends and had a sleepover. So on the Sunday, we decided that my dad was going to bring my mum he's allowed to take her out for walks in the hospital in the wheelchair. So we decided that my dad would bring her down to the reception of the hospital, and we would wait for her and meet her there. We didn't want to tell her in case something went wrong and we got our hopes up. But she hasn't seen the girls since June, and so that was quite emotional. She was, she found it really emotional to see the girls, and we spent an hour. We went outside, it was sunshine, so we went outside to the car park and just sat in the car park for an hour just chatting with the girls. So that was really nice. So we'll try and do that again, I think, soon. But but yeah, we just hopefully this new procedure will work and she can come home before Christmas. What else? What else have I got plans? Oh, I don't know. It's been so busy, isn't it? I went camping at the end of August. Utter disaster. I don't like camping. I don't do bugs, spiders, flies, grasshoppers, moths. I just don't like them. I'm just that person, I'm afraid. That's a really annoying person when everyone goes, it's just a bug. I know, but I don't like them. And there were lots of them, so I don't do camping. But I said to my husband, he's badgered me, come camping. The girls really want you to go camping. So I was like, fine, I will go. We did 2 nights. It was horrible. Not only were there lots and lots of bugs, it just must have been so unfortunate. We had, there was loud music in the campsite till like 1 in the morning. There were people being sick by our tent. Yeah, there were people playing music, and yeah, it was just a disaster. So I said to him, I've been camping, I've done it, I hated it. I've ticked the box. I won't be going again. But I will do caravans. We've got a caravan holiday booked for Easter. We're going down to Kent, up to Kent, to do some castles with some friends. So we're staying in a caravan in Easter. Yeah, so, and then just got to get excited for Christmas now. I've bought lots of Christmas presents for the girls already. It's all stored in a loft. So starting to, yeah, get things excited and ready for Christmas. So I think that's it. We're looking at an hour, and that's not too bad, is it? For, you know, I haven't been on for a couple of months. I would try and do some filming at Stitch Fest. But if not, I would definitely come on and do a podcast around sort of November time, hopefully before my Advent, and show you what I bought at Stitch Fest. And I might do some vlogmases. It won't be every day kind of thing, but we do have some plans for December, even with COVID. So I will try and do, yeah, maybe like a weekly sort of little vlogmas throughout December. I did that last year. Didn't really do much talking. I just did put some videos together and showed people what I was up to. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Yeah, it's lovely to share what I do with people, because my husband has absolutely zero interest. So it's really nice to share with people and just talk about things. I love to sort of interact with your comments. Oh, I didn't do the whole where can you find me. I should have done that at the beginning. I will put everything in the drop down box, but I'm hot on Instagram and Ravelry. You can find me as Heartmoor, HEARTMOOR. And you know, if you want to send me a message or ask me a question, you can do that probably Instagram, or in the comment box below is best. I go on Ravelry to use it for patterns, but I'm not on there frequently. So yeah, it'd be nice to interact. Let me know what you're up to. And if you haven't already, it'd be really great if you could like and subscribe. You know, it all helps sort of get your followers up and get you out there and sharing with a wider audience. And yeah, I love to do that. So yeah, thank you very much. And I will see you again soon. Bye.